Do you feel a different kind of connection with this group, having been through so much adversity with them?
You know, some of these guys, well, actually, I don't even think they're all, I mean, how many have been here an extra year, right? Aubrey's been here, Paige has been here. I don't think Azzi was part of the COVID
It's 3 separate
situation.
classes.
Yeah, 3 separate classes.
You know, Caitlin hasn't been here. It's a weird makeup of a class. You know, they haven't spent a lot of time together on the court. You know, so usually when you have seniors like let's say, you know, where Aaliyah and Nika come in together and they spent 4 years and, you know, fortunate enough to play 4 years together. It's an odd mix this year, and each of them has their own story. Really, for me, it's been fun to watch them navigate all this, because it hasn't been easy for them. And everybody says that, you know, when you were a teenager going through the whole pandemic cycle, that it did leave a mark somehow, some way. I mean, and I'm glad that, you know, they're getting to finish it out, you know, in a way that they can be together, you know, on and off the court. They've been pretty tight together off the court, a lot of these guys, but it's nice for them to finish with all of them on the court. By the time kids get to be seniors, that they've grown up, they've, you know, had a lot of experiences that they didn't have when they were 17 and 18. But if you pick the right kids, you know, they're basically the same people, and they're the same, you know. I think on the court, the unfortunate thing on the court is the being able to grow on the court was stunted a little bit because of the injuries, and the kind of injuries that affect you know, your ability to move as quickly as you used to move. You know, when you have a back issue, that's, you know, that's usually retirement for a lot of athletes. And you know, then the ACL, you know, it's a lot. You know, it's a lot to overcome, and especially at a time when last January, you know, she was playing the best basketball of her career. So now to get back to that. But you saw, you know, the other night the impact that she can have on a game. So she still has, you know, she can still be as impactful as she's ever been. It's just, I think, a shame, because it's less than the kind of impactful she could have been and without those injuries. You know, whenever someone has, you know, multiple surgeries, as Aubrey had, you know, from high school and then 2 in college, you know, you don't know what's going to be the breaking point, you know. And then for Carol, you know, when you sit out that long, and you're talking about the kind of things that are difficult to come back with, even without playing basketball, of course. Yeah, there was always that thought in the back of my brain, for sure. It lasts, I should say, it takes effect a little bit later than it used to, because back in the day when we didn't necessarily maybe have NCAA tournament games at home, and you knew this was the last game ever that you're going to play on this court, but now I think that time between the Big East tournament and the NCAA tournament, when you're at practice, that's when it really kind of has the biggest effect. That you know. But even then, I would say, the deeper you go in the NCAA tournament, you know it's coming to an end. That's when it really, boom, starts to hit you. It lasts. I should say it takes effect a little bit later than it used to because back in the day when we didn't necessarily maybe have NCAA tournament games at home, and you knew this was the last game ever that you're going to play on this court. But now I think that time between the Big East tournament and the NCAA tournament, when you're at practice, that's when it really kind of has the biggest effect. That you know. But even then, I would say, the deeper you go in the NCAA tournament, you know it's coming to an end. That's when it really, boom, starts to hit you. So, just trying to enjoy it, right now. I'm looking forward to the day I really, really like her. Like next October or November, or this summer when I'm watching her play in the WNBA. I'll feel really proud of her, and I really feel like a warm spot in my heart for her. So I'm looking forward to that day. It's just not today.
She mentioned she's really tried to stay present this year.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed that in her?
Yeah, I think so. Like with any kid, I think you can't help but think about it. It's obviously part of your future, and it's pretty emotional. So maybe you don't want to think about it too much because there is that emotion, and you maybe don't want to have to deal with it until you have to. So I've been really happy and really impressed with how she's been able to stay pretty grounded the whole time and not get distracted. She hasn't changed her routine. That hasn't been any different. If you see her, she's the last one on the court. At our practice facility, she's the last one to leave. So I'm sure she doesn't want to give any thought to, these are my last couple weeks that I'll be able to be in here.
Lots of feels going into tomorrow, senior day? Or?
No feels. I'm in denial. I'm actually not thinking about it at all.
Yeah.
So,
Game?
yeah, I'm hopefully going to stay in denial until after the game, and then the emotions can come out, but I'm trying my hardest to not think about it.
What went into your decision to want to walk tomorrow and participate?
I heard Coach mention that I am not a great decision maker, and I stand by that. I am not. But kind of like I've said before, I've been really focusing on trying to stay present this year and trying to just give this year all I've got. And I didn't want me worrying about what I'm going to do kind of play into just my mindset now. And so I was like, well, I'd rather have a senior night just in case. So, yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, I think I have to sit down and talk, with my family, with people closest to me, and just talk through the decisions, the options. I'm a big pros and cons lister to kind of get the emotions out, the feelings out, and just write down the facts. So I think a pro and cons list is in my near future.
You said you're not trying to think about tomorrow. Will mom or dad cry first?
That's a great question. I think my mom. I don't know. Definitely my grandpa will be in tears probably as he's walking in. My uncle will be in tears before the game starts. My mom, maybe my mom. I don't know. Probably both of them though.
Is the whole crew coming to walk you out?
Yes, they are. Parents, grandparents, and my brother John.
And she's not walking tomorrow, but what's it like just to see Caroline work her way back and be able to play these last couple games?
I'm super proud of her. Just everything she's been through. I know a little bit, just going through injuries, like what that's like, but her process has been nothing like any of us could ever imagine, like going through. And sometimes it's easy to forget because her injury is not something that we like can really see. So I give her props because she comes in every day and is an incredible teammate, and most of the time has a smile on her face. Sometimes she doesn't. But she's just such a great person, and it's so easy for her to have these excuses like, I'm not feeling great, I'm this, I'm that, and to kind of just take a step back and not be so involved, and that's never what she's done. So to finally see her, like, finally see all this hard work that she's been putting in pay off. I know when she went in at the Butler game, like, I just had tears in my eyes. I'm just so proud of her, and knowing what she's been through, and knowing that, like, where she has to go.
How are you feeling now? You've had, I know it's not been a lot of minutes, but there's a couple of games under your belt doing the full routine again.
It's good. I mean, I had been warming up for a little bit, so I kind of got used to that. And everything within my recovery has been like one step at a time, feel really good with one thing and then move on to the next. So it's definitely slow, but yeah, it's good.
What were the
Little
emotions
steps.
like playing here the last game and getting the fans were really excited to see you come on that court?
Yeah, it was awesome. The fans here have been like so supportive, and just every time I see someone, oh, when are you coming back? Like, we miss you. So that was really cool to be able to do it here, and my family was here, and my sister was here. My parents did end up getting a last-minute flight to Butler, but for me to have extended family here and do it in front of our fans here was special.
At Butler, was it really just Geno looked down the bench and asked you if you wanted to play and you went in? Is that how easy it was?
Well, we had conversations. I had gotten cleared like a couple of days before that, so it's still kind of like, it's quick turnaround. Like, practice is not like a game. So he was like, "We'll see how you feel," and it's also still always up to how I feel. So it was still see how you feel Friday, and then when the game came, I felt good in shoot around, and then he was like, "So you want to play?" And I was like, "Yeah."
He said that, throughout all the conversations that you two had, that you always were like, I'm going to do whatever I can to come back. There was no kind of deviation from that. So I guess is that how you describe just your determination to make sure you could get back on the court?
Yeah, I would say I always was set on coming back. But I'm not going to lie, there were definitely times, especially last year, where I didn't know if it would actually happen. But once I think I started like feeling better and started getting on the court, then that's when I was really like, okay, I could really actually come back. And I always told them I didn't want to come back just to say I did it. Like, I wanted to actually come back. So it's still a process, and obviously I still have a long way to go, but actually being able to be on the court was a good first step. Yeah, I would say it's definitely not talked about as much as like you would think. I mean, going into it, I really didn't know a lot about it before my first one, and then I think I know a little too much now. But yeah, it's really not like talked about as much, and there's not like a clear like recovery. Everyone kind of does it differently. Like, I know a lot of people that unfortunately met people that are kind of going through the same thing, and people do a lot of different things. So it kind of but it also is depending on what works for you. So like, I was talking to somebody who's struggled the same way, and like something that she did, I was like, oh yeah, that didn't really do much for me. So it kind of just depends on yourself. So that's why I am lucky that I have, people here that they know me really well, and Janelle, our athletic trainer, knows me really well now. So she's helped me a lot and be able to, adjust things for what works for me.
How have you changed on and off the court?
Yeah, that was a while ago, but I do remember. Definitely, it was like a moment I couldn't forget. I was young, and from now, I feel like I've grown in so many areas, just being more confident and just being a better teammate, and I just feel like I understand the game better as well. So definitely came a long way.
So 6 years ago.
Since 6 years ago.
Right?
I did not imagine that.
Getting ready to do a second walk on senior night, does it feel different this time around than it did last year?
Yeah, it definitely does. Like, because last year I knew I was coming back, but like this year I'm not. So it's kind of hitting different and kind of making me a little emotional. But I'm just trying to embrace it and embrace everything, and embrace like my last moments here.
Have you forgiven Geno for kind of outing you last year when you were playing early?
I mean, it's I forgive him now, but yeah, that was funny.
Are you excited though about the next step with your career and just being able to explore, that whatever's next?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've been here a while, and it's kind of like scary to know what's next, but being here has prepared me so much just for what's next, so that makes it a little easier, and just know that everything that I've done here has prepared me for the next level.
Is there anything that really stands out in your mind about what's different with the program or with anything from when you got here compared to now?
I feel like it's been consistent, pretty much the same things and same stuff that he teaches us, but I've definitely got a lot smarter and just the overall better basketball player on and off the court.
How have you and Caroline kind of bonded? You've been through a lot more than most college athletes have to go through. What's this process been like for the two of you?
I mean, I feel like we've both been there for each other, just because like I missed last year, she missed a little of this year, and just seeing her back out there is just surreal, and I'm just super excited for her, and just know that like we both came a long way.
With the injuries you've had, I mean, you've had back surgery, your knees. A lot of people might have given up. What's kept you going?
Yeah, I think my determination. I didn't want to give up, and I want to continue to play the sport that I love, and that's why.
This group of you guys that's walking tomorrow, and all of you have been through a lot together over the last
Yeah.
4 or 5 years. I mean, just what have those relationships meant? How have they grown?
I mean,
over
I
time?
definitely think that we've grown from it, and we all went through things that just made us stronger, and now we're all healthy, and I think that's the reward.
How many people are coming to see you tomorrow?
I have like about 8 family members. I'm from my mom and dad's side.
How excited are they for this?
Yeah.
I mean, seeing you out there on the court and
Yeah.
doing what you're doing right now.
They're super excited, and just happy I never gave up despite all my injuries and stuff. So they're excited and happy to see me out there tomorrow.
What kind of addition has Caitlin been to you guys, especially the upperclassmen? You know, she's
Yeah.
only been here a year.
I mean, I think Caitlin has had a significant impact. She knows the game really well, and she's kind of the leader that tells you where you need to be when, and she's just very vocal about it. She doesn't hold back anything, so I think it's great that we have her.